in supply chain, and Suraj is going to walk us through all the AI features, how it works, or how it looks in system, and if required, he can also tell some points how to configure it. So, Suraj, over to you.
Okay. So, as part of this session, I'll be covering on some of those AI enablement in Oracle Fusion. So, if you see the contents, these are some of those points which we will be covering as part of the session. The first one, we look into inventory part where we have automatically to generate those accrual clearing summary, and the second one is mainly on the maintenance part where you have those options mainly to generate a repair summary, or you can use this one AI functionality to get those repair suggestions or notes in place. On the manufacturing side, we have those functionalities mainly to get in those shift notes, and on the sales order, we have some of those functionalities of AI where you can use it in order to create revisions in sales order. So once a sales order revision is created, you the using whatever the changes that you have made to the sales order, the system itself will provide a recent summary of what was the change. So those kinds of things will be handled as part of AI in order management. Then we have the procurement part. So as part of procurement, we have the AI functionality where by giving just a section your requirement or a negotiation, you just need to mention for what the requirement you are creating as part of a negotiation. You just mention, say, I just require the company profile level details, or I just wanted to understand the background of a company. The system itself will generate those questionnaires relevant to those for those requirements part. Then we have the purchase order highlights. So whenever you create a purchase order, you might be having, say, 10 or 15 lines in place. So based on whatever the line level details that you are providing, the Oracle will summarize those details from using AI. It will summarize those details and it will highlight what is the crux of mainly that purchase order. So based on that, as an approver, at a quick glance, you'll be knowing what this purchase order is about, and based on that, the approver can take those respective action. Then similarly, we have those options mainly to generate the synopsis as well as cover page in negotiation. So what this will bring to a category manager in places you will be writing negotiations, say you will be creating negotiations, multiple negotiations for different things as a category manager, and each time whenever you start off with the negotiation, there will be time consumption will be there on writing through the scripts of what the synopsis or cover pages. So that part, using AI, you can simplify the process. Whatever the details that you provide as part of the negotiation, it will be summarized, and the system itself will take care of the negotiation synopsis and cover page. It will provide you those template fill details where you can just review or skim through the details, and if you want to make any minor changes, you can make those edits, and based on that, you can publish those negotiations. So in terms of generating or creating the synopsis or cover page, means it will be more easier or convenient to the end user. Then we have this option of new supplier recommendations in place. So whenever you have any negotiations in place, the system will itself recommend some of those suppliers. So even though from your supplier base or whatever the suppliers that you are invited to the negotiation, if those are not in, if those are the only ones which you know of, the system will also recommend some of the major players which are around, and based on that, you can either create those suppliers in Fusion, and based on that, you can include those suppliers also as part of the negotiation process. Then, in line with the requirements, what I mentioned for negotiation, a similar functionality is there where in supplier qualification management also, the system will create those qualification system questions based on whatever the inputs that you provide. So, say if it is mainly related to quality standards, if you want to check for a qualification of a supplier, or in terms of any particular certifications or any business this one business classifications, on those basis, if you want to qualify those suppliers, you just provide in those details. The system itself will provide those questions on based on which it will generate those questions, and you have those option out of the system generated questions, so you can choose which all are convenient mainly to be included as part of the qualification area, and based on that you can incorporate those as part of your qualification process. Then we have the summarize supplier registration attachment is mainly there. So as part of the registration process, the vendor will be for means a vendor will have to uh, follow a due diligence process where they need to fill in and attach all the mandatory documents in place. And whenever they attach multiple documents as a approver to a supplier registration process, it will be cumbersome for a approver to download each and every document and to see what the essence of those documents are. So what AI will provide is based on whatever the documents that you attach it will get into the details of those attachment, and it will provide you a summary what this attachment is related to and what all details it is there. So on a high level it will provide those information which will make the job of a supplier registration approver to work more efficiently on the approval process. Then we have the quality where you have those options mainly to generate those inspection plan description as well as the inspection characteristics. So these are some of those things which we'll be covering as part of the process. Now, the first one is, as I mentioned, the first one is related to automatically generate the accrual clearing summary. So I'll take you through the system and I'll show you how this can be enabled. Before moving forward, any questions or any queries anybody have in this group, or are we good?
No, Suresh.
Okay.
No, Suraj,
So
I'm good.
okay, so just to give you an highlight about these things, these AI functionality, those are mainly focused on the Redwood theme of things. So most of the functionality for you to have it with the AI features in place, you'll have to enable those Redwood counterparts. When I say counterparts, what I mean is for the Redwood to be enabled for those particular tasks, you will have to enable some of those profile options. For example, for the first part in place, you have something called as this one accrual summary generation using AI. For that, we need to first ensure that these screens are mainly in Redwood theme. So for those, we have to enable these profile options. So this, if you see, for each of the screens, Oracle as themselves have provided what all are the profile options which needs to be provided, so which needs to be enabled on the administrative profile value. So for each of those, one needs to enable on those ends. And once you enable those, the second thing which one has to ensure is that you go to, say, I go to this particular page, say open accrual balances. I go in there, and this once you enable it, it will be in Redwood theme. And there is a chance that once you enable also the AI assistants might not be visible in this. So in those cases, one option which you can do is you have this edit pages in Visual Builder Studio is there. So you click on this, and once you click on this edit page in Visual Builder, what happens is Visual Builder Studio will open up in place, and here you will see some of those features or functionality. So here when you go to that particular workspace for that accrual balances screen, for that particular area there will be option mainly for where you will be able to what is it enable those AI assist functionality. So if I'll just close this, I'll just go to the page once again. So here, if I click on edit visual, edit page in Visual Builder, what happens is it will open those application extensions in Visual Builder. And in those, you have one of the options which comes in place to show the AI assist. So that you need to set it as true. Then only some of these functionalities will be enabled. So each of these functionalities that I mentioned related to AI, the enablement process is different. It's not like for everything you have to come over here in Visual Builder Studio and enable this. For a few of those, it will be directly a checkbox as part of the offerings where you just need to go in and enable those checkboxes in place. So this is what I was talking about. Show AI assist. This one you need to enable and make it to true. So each of those you have those respective enablement processes mainly in place. So I'll just go to the functionality back. So here as a user, when I go in and I try to clear and say the balances mainly from this, I'll click on clear balances and it will open me a screen where I can provide in the adjustment date and I can provide a summary. The reason why I am doing this process, say as a buyer, I am telling, say buyer confirms there is no activity, there are no further activity for this purchase order. So whatever be the reasons from the business side, you just need to provide a short statement on those. And the rest, when you click on AISS, based on that, it will summarize and it will provide the details mainly based on those. So this detailed reasoning is mainly something which can be used as part of the AI assist functionality. So once it's done, you just need to click on clear and this description will be added as part of the process. So this is one which I have talked about. The first point, which is related to the automatically generate accrual clearing summary. Uh, the second feature that we have is mainly the use of a new maintenance technician workbench. So whenever as a maintenance manager, when you go to the application, you have those options mainly to create those summaries which can be used further on as a process. So for that, you need to go to maintenance workbench. So I go to my maintenance work page. So I'll go in and I'll take in any of the maintenance work orders and place. And I'll go to say preview work. So in preview work, what happens is you have those options where for whatever the task that you are completing or whatever the this one or whatever is the task for which you are performing, you have those options mainly to add in those attachments as well. Let me just open one more. Hmm. So here you have those options where you can add in any notes as well as attachments. So for each of the operations, whatever you are dealing with, you just need to provide a summary of the operations and whichever the operation it is mainly dealing with. And you can provide whether it's a general note or a repair suggestion or a turnout note. And you can just provide a summary over here and the AI assist using that you can generate those. So as mentioned here for this page, I think the AI assist is not enabled. Let me just, no, for this, the AI assist is not enabled. So for enabling this, as I mentioned, you have to go in there and you need to enable those functionalities as such. So here you need to go in and enable those functionality. Post that similar to what we have done for the summary, a similar summary can be generated mainly for the notes as well as even for the summary on the workbench you can generate for those. So that is mainly on the maintenance side. So here also, as I mentioned, the notes session, you can enable those AI assist functionalities of feature. For enabling those, as I mentioned, you need to go to that particular page and enable those visual builder in place. And once it is enabled, post that you will be able to use those. So each of those application, whenever you come in place, you need to enable in the beginning so that post that you can use this AI functionality in place. So similar is the case with this maintenance. So in the maintenance work definition page, so you have those option where you can generate those repair suggestions as well. So based on whatever the problem statement that you given for one particular work order, whatever the problem statement that you given, the system will take into details of whatever the past work orders where whatever was used mainly for addressing the past work order issues, and based on that it will give you a description of the solutions in place. So this is also one of the functionalities which we have as part of the AI assist. Next one is mainly on the manufacturing part. So whenever as a manufacturer you have those shifts in place. So as a manufacturer, when you go into the application as a production supervisor, you can create in. So as a manufacturer, when you go into the application, so you have those options mainly to generate those shift reports you can generate. So here also, when you come to manufacturing or work execution, so if you go, come over here under production supervision, so in production supervision, you have this reporting as mainly there. So you can create those reports as part of the process. You can click on plus and you can provide in the details mainly related to the shift, and based on that it will create those shift report PDF will be created. And for this report which is mainly there in place also, you need to provide a shift summary. So once the AI tool is enabled, once you given a small description mainly to this particular field, using that AI assess button, you will be able to generate those summary as well. So this is another functionality which is there on the maintenance, where we can have this AI assist in place. So if you can see over the screen, so once you have the shift summary, you generate something as a shift summary. Then once you click on this AI assist tool, automatically it will highlight more details into that particular summary part. Similar is the case with the shift notes as well. Then moving on to the next one, let me just go to the next part. But for each of these, I ensure that whenever you are doing these processes, I ensure that for all these, one needs to enable those corresponding Redwood pages for this AI functionality mainly to happen. So if in your screen the manufacturing and say manufacturing related or maintenance related UI is still in say the normal UI is what it is, then you need to update those profile options, and post that only you will be able to use the AI assist part. So here, if you see the order management screen itself is mainly in the older UI. So as I mentioned, for each of these areas, you need to update those profile options, and needs to enable it mainly to the Redwood theme. So I'll just show you for one where I'll go to the home. So how you will come to know what all are the features or functionalities which is mainly there as part of the Reddit part? What is the profile values? For each of those, Oracle themselves has provided those as part of the documentations on Reddit enablement. Other than that, if you see, if you just search for Reddit, you can see across modules what all are being enabled, and each of these profile options you can go in and you can enable those. For example, you have the say work definition, maintenance for work definition, physical inventory. So all these things, whatever the each page that you see in each one of those, you have to enable the Reddit theme. So you have to come over here. If it is not enabled, you have to choose the site level and enable those. So the similar process has to be done for the order management part as well. So post enabling this functionality is what you will be able to use in this assist part. So here, this was one of the examples which I have highlighted. For example, whenever you have a sales order in place, you make those changes to the sales order. Automatically, the system will, once you provide a revision reason mainly for that, and it will create those summary using the AI assist. And once it is being created, you have those option where you can mail in the details as well. So if you want a mail to be generated, and you need to send it mainly, so those options are is also there where you can email the change order part. So whenever you are emailing it, the body of that mail also the AI will take into consideration, and it will help you to generate those details what needs to be communicated to the customer. So some of those I have mentioned, it is mainly the Redwood you will have to update as a profile option, and in the VB page you will have to go in and you need to update the AI assist. There are other functionalities as well, where there are other functional modules where the AI enablement process is entirely different. For example, if it when we come across procurement on the whole, we don't need to say go to the specific VB page and enable those. We have directly some of those as features as part of the functional area. So for example, if I go to procurement, if I click on this opt-in feature, So here, as part of the feature functionality for sourcing, if I take in place, so for sourcing, when I come over here under features or functionalities, if I click on this features editor button, so there are a list of features or functionality which is finally in place. And if you see, there are few which is coming up with the generate AI part. So if you want the cover page, if you want the synopsis, or if you want to have add requirements in generate AI, so all these things you can enable it using these feature checkboxes. So you just need to come over here and enable those functionalities. So for this, you don't need to go to the VB page and do anything. It will be direct over here. And you also have the option mainly to enable generate AI for buyers and team members for negotiation messaging. So as a internal collaboration team, if you want to communicate with somebody internally within your team, or if you want to communicate on something to the supplier, using the online messaging application, means using the online messaging option also, there also you can use it, and you can use AI companion mainly to generate those this one a summary or the description or the message that needs to be conveyed for those. So I'll just go to the sourcing and I'll show you the here it's already enabled for all the AI features. So initially, before enablement of these functionalities, the main negotiation process, what you have is one needs to fill in the cover page, the synopsis, then the requirements, then the line level details, and then you have the suppliers in place. So since once you enable this AI functionality, the AI will take into details that you are providing as part of the negotiation, and based on that, it will try to generate all these things. So most of these features like the cover page and synopsis are mainly moved to the back in terms of the train stop. So I'll just log into the application.
How many topics are remaining, Suraj?
This one I'll just finish off the negotiation part, and we can this one wind it up with the negotiation. There are a few features I can show it in one go. So post that we
Okay.
can wind it up.
Okay.
So I'm just logging in with Calvin Roth, who is mainly the super user or procurement super user in Vision instance. So I'll just go to the negotiation page. Under procurement, I'll go to the negotiations. I'll just click on create negotiation. So I'll just put it as RFQ and I'll just provide this one standard negotiation with AI assist. So one point which I just wanted to highlight over here is for the negotiation, if you want the AI assist also, that as part of the negotiation style, you can opt in that feature as well. So of the long list of fields which are mainly there as part of the process, one will be an AI assist, whether you require cover page or whether you require the lines tab. So in that manner, one option will be to enable this AI assist as part of the negotiation style. So I'll just add in these details and I'll click on create. So here I'll just provide a negotiation number. So laptop. And I'll just provide a close date mainly for this, say 28. So if you this is what I meant, the cover page and everything. Earlier it used to be in the beginning. Now it got pushed mainly to the end because for the AI assist mainly to work, it will take in all the details that you provide in the respective tabs. So here we have already have these details coming in as part of the template negotiation template, and here you have the requirements section which is mainly there. And here if I want to have requirements to be generated, so I click on AI assist. So here one of the requirements which come in as mainly the business with 3 or 4 questions in place. So I click on AI assist. And yeah, I just need to provide what I am looking at in terms of questionnaire, what it's at topic which I am looking to get those information from the supply, I mean from the respective supplier. So I'm just mentioning it as company profile and past 5-year performance. I just provide those details and I just click on generate. So what happens is the system will automatically create those questionnaires for me, and it will based on that I can go through the questionnaire and I can add in all these things. So how long have you been business in providing laptops? Can you provide 3 client references for similar projects that you have completed? Do you have a quality control? Have you won any award? So in this manner it will generate those, and if I find all the things are suitable, I just need to click on this checkbox and I just need to add it as part of the requirements. So it will come as another tab altogether. So based on whatever the things that you provide, it will given those details, and you just need to click and add in those as part of the requirements. So what happens is whatever you have added in, those will be added as part of your requirements tab. So this is one of the functionality to add requirements into the sourcing one. Then we have the suppliers part. So as I mentioned, you might have already few suppliers which you have shortlisted to be included, which you might have included as part of your negotiation template. Other than that, if you want to discover some of the new suppliers which are doing the same business around, so those things, if you click on discover new suppliers, it will show you some of those details of the suppliers which you can this one register as part of the process and add it to your negotiation process. So here it will show me some of the suppliers who are dealing with laptop business. So those things based on that I can enter those details. So this is another functionality which is added onto the sourcing part. Then other than that, you have the synopsis as well as the cover page for this. So using the AI assist. So based on whatever the details I have provided till here, based on that, I click on AI assist and the AI assist will generate a synopsis mainly for me. So negotiation, whatever the heading which I have given as part of the negotiation and all those details, there will be fields where you just need to review and add in your information so as to complete those. So there are fields like the close date and everything which you can update on those. And even the variable concepts you can use in along with this so that whatever the variables that you are defined in, those will be inserted into those respective areas as well. And for some reason, if you feel like the template for the cover page is not up to the mark, the system itself will give you other alternative suggestions. So the first one, if I feel like it is not something suitable for this negotiation, I just need to click on regenerate. So it will give me another version of this AI generated cover page, which I can use as part of the process. Once I feel like okay, this one is good, once I feel like it is okay, or if I have any changes, I can make those edits in this and I click on accept so that it will be incorporated into my this one synopsis. So it will be incorporated into the cover page. Similar is the case with cover page synopsis as well. So both of those you have those option mainly to generate using AI. So here, if you see the line level details, whatever we have provided at the line level, all those things, the system will take into consideration and it will provide those summary as part of the process. Then we have this messaging part. So as I mentioned, messaging is one which you use to communicate either with the supplier or with the internal with your team. So whenever you want to communicate anything to internal or to the supplier, you choose whoever the person to which you need to communicate and what is the subject associated. You just need to provide a detail. Close the negotiation if the expected price is met, or extend the negotiation round. So I just mentioned this as a subject and I click on AI assist, and based on whatever the subject I have provided, the AI assist will provide those details. So in this manner, it will be more convenient. You just need to fill in one sentence mainly on what you are expecting, and based on that, the system will generate those messages and you can send it across. And so that these are some of the functionality which are there on sourcing part. Then we have one highlight is mainly there as part of purchase orders. So for purchase orders, once you go into manage orders, I think this is also not in wait, let me just see whether we have the red dot option for purchase orders. So purchase orders new, I have gone in and inside that I'll take any of the purchase orders which is currently existing. And what the highlight functionality mainly does is it will take into consideration all the lines that you have in place. and based on that, it will give you a summary of what that order is mainly. So based on whatever the line level details that you have provided over here, the system will generate and it will provide you a highlight. So as an approver, if you have say 50 lines, or the order is mainly related to say advertising, you're buying something for the advertising category, multiple things are there in place. So based on that, the system will check into the line level details, and based on that, it will provide and highlight so that the approver will know what this purchase order is about, and based on that they can take those respective decisions, rather than going into each and every line and checking all those details. So this is mainly on the purchase order highlight functionality. So we covered on the requirement part I talked about. Then similarly, in the item level also in PIM, we have the item level description is mainly there. So based on whatever the description that you provide for an item, based on that you can generate those formatted or long description mainly for your item using those AI assist in place. So this functionality, to enable it, you'll have to log in as a SR with Oracle support, so as to enable this functionality. Highlight part I have mentioned how it mainly works. Then synopsis I have covered. Discover new suppliers I have mentioned. How we go about with the cover page using generative AI. And similar to what we have seen for requirements, even the same functionality is applicable in supplier qualification, where similar to the requirements where you provide the section, and based on that automatically the questions are getting generated. Similarly, for qualification area as well, you can generate those questions by providing those details, what it is about, whether it is related to quality, or whether it is related to the business commercials of a company. So all those things you can just provide those section, and you can generate those questions as part of the generate AI functionality. Then the last one which I just wanted to highlight over here is on the supplier registration. So on the supplier registration, I'll just show you the one which I have generated as part of the testing process. So what I have did is I just went in and I had this one as part of a supplier registration process. I created one supplier, and I have just added in a code of conduct PDF document. I have added it as part of the process. And based on whatever the attachment that was added, the system, what it does is it will generate and it will show you what that attachment is all about. So if you see, based on the document supplier code of conduct.pdf, the system will summarize what that document is about, so that as a approver I will be able to know what each individual documents are, and based on that I can take those respective actions in place. The last functionality is mainly on the inspection plan as well, where you can generate. So based on whatever the inspection you given those details like the plan, inspection type, operations, and all those details you provide, and the version description, it can be generated using the AI tool. So these are some of those functionalities which I wanted to cover as part of the AI. I hope the session was mainly helpful, and you have got a, grasp of what AI features are currently enabled in Fusion and what can be expected going forward. Any